Yes, hi you guys. I'm just a little bit early.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Oh my God, that's so
Everyone.
Hi, good morning. Aloha, Tammy.
Welcome,
Good
Tammy.
morning. Aloha.
Aloha. Yeah. Thank you very much, Tammy, taking your time to be here with us. We really appreciate that. You really inspire us last Saturday and by sharing the VGO. And we're so excited, but we don't know exactly what to do. So we appreciate that you take this time come over and share with us and exactly how to do, how we get started. And we have no idea how do you promote that, and how do you bring people on. I mean, how do you bring the old dead people become active again, right? Do you have any special promotion, any way how to deliver the message, how do you close them, how you follow up with them? I guess we have so many questions, we don't know exactly what to do. So hope you don't mind to share us, and how exactly you start the progress.
Yeah, so maybe easier. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for being on. So maybe
Hi.
you go through the go through the process from beginning to end. So, and then if we have any specific questions, then we could, I guess, ask those questions to you.
Yes, sounds great. Well, thank you guys. Happy Monday.
Yeah,
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Today is Memorial Day, and I'm like, what memories are we creating for our families, right? And because everything starts with us. So I'm just so excited, you guys. You guys, most of you may know me, some of you may not. I'm actually a senior marketing director under the leadership of Joey and Joanna Colosito, right? There are EMDs out of Chesapeake. And let me tell you guys, I was at a place in my business because there's a mindset with the VGOs that I want to share with you so that everything just kind of makes sense. I remember a couple of years ago, I was looking for that edge. You know how you're in business and you just want to win so bad and you're trying to figure out what is my next move?
Mm-hmm.
So we started having grand openings in our Chesapeake office. And what the grand opening consists of, I also have a PowerPoint, but I'll kind of pull that up if I'm able to share. Yes. She gave me the ability to share, so I appreciate that. Before we start doing the visual grand openings, we were having grand openings in the office.
Mm-hmm.
What the grand opening would consist of is, first of all, the new business associate. The new business associate comes on board and you do their fast start action plan. But we would promote a grand opening. So what would happen? We would get the names and the numbers of their family members and closest friends only. We would make phone calls with our new business associate, inviting their family members and close friends to their grand opening. So what would happen? We would be excited because we're there with the new business associate making that phone call. We would set a date, and their family members, you guys, would come into the office. We would have a BPM presenter. We would have food. We would have music. We would have balloons. We would have excitement. So can you imagine? You're coming on board. You're excited. You want to get this information to people that you are the closest to. So they're showing up at the office because they're there to support you. And we're greeting them. We had like a welcome team that will welcome them. Well, I would like to welcome you to Jennifer's grand opening day. We thank you for showing up. It's going to be an amazing day. So we would have Mozone. So we would have music, not loud music, you guys, but just music where we make people feel welcome. So at the very beginning of the grand opening, we would recognize whomever is having their grand opening. We would have that individual to come up, we would introduce them. We would ask, who's here for the grand opening of Tammy Frazier? And then their guests would actually stand. We would clap for them and recognize them. The pre-game part of the grand opening went on for about 15 minutes. So each individual that were having their grand opening got recognized. After we went through the recognition, the BPM presented. The BPM started, you guys. So we would use our best BPM presenter. Why? We're at a grand opening. We need to bring the energy. We want to make sure that people leave and they know what we do. We did not focus on recruiting. We focus on the client side. We focus on the new business associate, getting them exposure. So we would do the BPM presentation. at the very end of the presentation, we sometimes would even give that MBA gifts. We would sometimes even have games and give prizes away. We would ask, well, who can give me the acronym of, tell me what the acronym DIME stands for. And they may, you know, they're going to tell you what the acronym, and we would have like a Starbucks gift card. We would immediately, you guys, get follow-ups, because throughout the presentation, the BPM presenter is constantly saying, if this is information you want to know more about, you're going to get with your family member. If this is information you want to know more about, you're going to get with your friends. And to be honest with you, this is the thing that blew Mickey away. We could not even get these family members and friends to leave the office after a grand opening. We even had family members wanting to come on board. We didn't even bring up the business, but we saw the environment and the atmosphere and winning. Well, how can I do what it is that my niece is doing? I want to know how I can be a part of this. Wow. So it was all about the Mo Zone. So if you guys are taking notes, I am going to talk about doing this virtually, but keep in mind the Mo Zone and the environment is what people buy into, number one. So everything we did at the office, we just decided we were going to do it via Zoom. So first I want to ask, does anyone have any questions on how we did our grand openings before we went into this pandemic?
Can I ask you questions, Tammy? So we talk about, yes, you recognize individually. So basically, and each grand opening is only designed for one person only, correct?
Well, what we did, we would combine. So we had 4 MBAs. Say we would take an MBA from each base shop. Think about the psychology of that. The reason why we did that is because now we're getting these 4 new teammates to first get to know each other. They're from different base shops. They came into the business together. Now they can compete together. So there's a reason why we would join one from each base shop, because most of them did not know each other, right? So we're introducing them to each other. But what would happen during the grand opening, you guys, we would celebrate that person. And it would really be like a celebration, because we're excited that they're in business and they made the decision to change their life.
Oh, that's great. So you combine them together. So do you do once a week? How often do you do that?
Now, at the time when we were at the office, we would do a grand opening once a week.
Once a week. Is
now, this was in addition to the BPM. We would do our grand openings on Sundays. You know why? Sundays are family days. So we didn't have any issue with a husband and a wife, you know, coming, or, you know, the uncle and the aunt showing up instead of just one if you're coming in for a field training appointment. So we utilized Sundays when we were going into the office for grand openings.
Most people, they go to church on Sunday. So how can you bring them to office? Like maybe in the afternoon or what? In the afternoon, exactly. Our grand openings would start at 3 p.m. Oh, okay. So you have to provide food for them, correct? Or just
absolutely. We were very mindful of the time. We chose 3 p.m. because we knew people were getting out of church and they could just come in because we're going to have food. Oh, okay. So how long would that last? Like until like 2 hours or what? Maybe an hour and a half. We would eat and mingle first, you guys. That was our Mo Zone. So how long is your Mo Zone? It was usually about 30 minutes. All right. Eat and mingle, and then you do presentation for like 45 minutes or 1 hour? 45 minutes. And then what do we do after that? After we would have the presentation, we would not, you know how when we're presenting you guys and we ask them to fill out the cards, we would not do that. But we still followed up, because here was the thing. You didn't necessarily have to do that when people are ready. So the leaders, we would go around and we would have conversation. This is, again, at the office. I'll share with you guys how we do it now, because I want to paint the picture first so you can understand the virtual. Okay. So we would go around and I would meet the guests, family members, and they would share. I would say, well, tell me wouldn't you agree this was powerful information? And they was like, oh my goodness, Miss Frazier, this information was so powerful. Well, wouldn't you agree that you really want to change your life? This is something that you really want to know, learn more about. Let's set an appointment. It wasn't like, and what's so amazing, when you guys start to implement this, everything that you thought it wouldn't be is what it's going to be. It was so easy scheduling follow-up appointments. It was so easy because when the information is there at the right time with the right energy, people just want to know more.
So do you interview right after that? I mean, do you recruit people right after the event, or no, I have to come back another day?
We started the interview right then, you guys, because people wanted it right then. We couldn't get them to leave the office.
Oh, wow.
Now, when we first started the grand openings, we had no intentions on bringing people on board the same day. But people would literally, and Mickey, I would call Mickey after the grand openings and share with Mickey, this is the game changer. We literally couldn't get people to leave the office. They wanted to come on board at that time. And guess what? We would take them in the office. We would have someone to do an interview, and we would bring them on board.
Oh, okay. So when they're on board, so you do faster with them the next time or next week, or when? In 24 or 72 hours, or what?
Absolutely, 24 to 48 hours. And what they were excited about, because they've already been a part of a grand opening, they cannot wait to have their own grand opening.
Oh, okay. So when will they become a client?
They would become a client before we even do the fast start. So we would bring them on board, we would schedule their PFS appointment, and then we fast start them. So the 24 to 48 hour appointment would be their PFS appointment. Because we're just believers. You can't share. We join, we own, we share, we JOS, and we teach that. So you can't share, which is an action plan, if you don't own. I mean, what are you excited about? The mission has to start with you first.
So basically, in between all this time, you never talk about the compensation at all.
Never talk about the compensation until we're in a one-on-one appointment.
So basically, they're so excited, they immediately like it, they join, they pay $100, correct? And then you make a appointment, come back again the next day, talk about the F&A, right? Financial need analysis.
Correct. And the reason why we would do that the next day, because the information is fresh in their mind. Right. You know, just like we would if we're doing a BPM, you guys. So we would definitely get that appointment 24 to 48 hours. Talk about the mission of what we do and the ownership. Let us start with you guys first. Let's help your family first. And then we would then recap on the grand opening. Wow, we can't wait to actually plan your grand opening. And they're like, oh my goodness, Miss Frazier, I can't wait. When can I have my grand opening?
Oh, okay. So once they have F&A already, you do the grand opening for them right away or after fast start? Which one go first?
If they're all, that's a good question. If they're already clients, then we would just do their action plan.
The action plan is the grand opening or the prospect list?
Right. The action plan is the fast start.
Fast start.
The fast start. I said the process, I mean the prospect list. Then we make an invitation and have a grand opening for them.
Absolutely. And I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys this on my PowerPoint. Okay.
That's cool.
I designed a PowerPoint, a fast start action plan virtual PowerPoint. And Mickey actually sent this out to all our leaders. So you just came on board. Well, you attended a grand opening, you just came on board, you're excited, you became a client. Now I have to show you the playbook of the business. So we will first talk about the 6 steps. We have a business format system. This is a duplicatable business. You know, we have great success. You know how we do a fast start, you guys. It's the very same thing. But this is the game changer here on this slide. We talk about 4 wheels. It's like you're driving a car. This is your Corvette. This is your dream car. Do you want to drive fast or do you want to drive slow? You want to get to your goal sooner or later? Wouldn't you agree you want to get to your goal sooner? So we can show you how to do it. So we're going through the fast start. We talk about wheel number 1, build a team. Now, before we start doing the virtual grand openings, of course. Before we even start doing grand openings in general, we would get a prospect list. We would make phone calls with our new MBA, and we would set up field training appointments. True? Everybody's with me, right?
Yes.
But now it's easier because now we focus on the grand opening instead of the prospect list. We still get the list, but the wordage is different. Here's the thing, you guys. Your new MBA will be more excited to give you a list of their family and friends to invite them to their grand opening where they're going to be exposed. They're going to be excited. It's going to be all about them than giving you their prospect list because they think their prospect list is going to be all about you. So it was so easy to make the phone calls. So even during our fast starts, we're promoting the grand openings. We want to get you to your next level promotion. How quick can we show people that you know what we do? So most of them already attended a grand opening, so they already know the effect of it. And that's how we were able to get so many MBAs in the month of April. So then, of course, we would go to wheel number 2, because it's not just about the grand openings. It's about getting into field training. What about the individuals that did not attend your grand opening? We're going to go back, you guys. We're not leaving any lunch on the table. We're going to go back and we're going to still run the business format system. We're going to still set up one-on-one appointments. The grand opening is just to give them immediate activity, doing everything quicker. We still have our virtual BPMs twice in a week and trainings every day. Nothing stops. It's just the virtual grand openings allows everything to move quicker. And of course, we still talk to them about license. So we're not deviating from the system. We're just allowing the system to move faster. And we believe that the grand openings and the virtual grand openings are the game changer, because you get your new person exposure as quick as possible. And think about it, without exposure, how can we get them results? So then, you know, we talk about going off to the races. We get them pumped up and excited because we're gonna help to grow their business. So then we even talk to them about the Champions Path, getting to their first level of promotion. We're gonna use the grand opening to do that. So we even talk to them about what's the benefits of you having your grand opening. We're going to help you build your team, right? And once you have new business associates, then you're going to go through field training. So we're still having the same language. It's just we're doing everything quicker. And then we talk about who we're going to invite. Remember, it's your 2 a.m.ers, your close friends, and your close family members. There's a certain market that we focus on, even inviting to the VGOs. Because remember, your 2 a.m.ers, they're the ones that will just support you just because. Your best friends, they're going to support you just because. Anything that's about you, think about if you were franchising a restaurant, right? And your friends and your family members knew about it. Do you think they're not going to show up for your grand opening of your brand new restaurant? Of course they are. This is the script that we use. I'm looking for my flyer, you guys. I think my assistant took my flyer out of this PowerPoint, but I'll find it. I can just go into another screen. I want you guys to see, we literally designed a flyer.
Okay.
And on that flyer, we have, if it's a couple, we have their picture, we have they're having a virtual grand opening, we have that we're inviting your family and friends to support, and we have what time it's going to start with the Zoom information. And here's what we do. On our GroupMe, if we know that you're having an upcoming grand opening, we all support you. Your name comes on the GroupMe. Guess what? This week, we're going to be having Mickey and Lynn and Joanne, Joanna, and Tammy and Les. They're going to be having their grand opening on this coming Saturday. We're all so excited, you guys. Let's support them. So we even utilize the flyers to even put on our personal group meets as well. And I tell you guys, it's something about how that new business associate feels when they're coming on board. To me, it eliminates a lot of the questions and a lot of the doubts. Because when they come on board, do they really want you in their market? When they really don't understand? But when you make it about them, it's so much easier. So not only, let me go back here, you guys, we actually make this phone call with our new MBAs. So real quick, I don't know if you know or not, but I just started working part-time with a financial firm. And guess what? I'm really, really excited. I plan to have a virtual grand opening, and I know you'll help me out. I'm looking to have a minimum of 20 guests, and I'm sure you'll be one of them. Actually, I'm with my trainer, Joey, right now, and he wants to provide you with the details. That's all we say. But we say, it's like, I am on Zoom, so I want you guys to speak with me. I am on Zoom with my new MBA. And we're actually making phone calls while we're on Zoom together. You know, you put your phone on speaker, that person doesn't know that you're on a Zoom call together. But we're making phone calls together. Because guess what? You don't want your new MBA to go off and start inviting to their own grand opening without you. They're going to get too excited, and just like we would do when we would be making reference calls in the office, they're going to say all the wrong things. So it's easier if they're on Zoom with their trainer. Now, for some markets, texting is better. So we say the same thing. We just join our trainer in that text as a three-way text. And we just communicate via text. Sometimes that works better. It just depends. We cater everything to the new business associate. Some individuals, they're highly respected in the community. So we only have their grand opening. They're the only ones that's recognized because they may have a higher end market. They may be an individual that people look up to. So we don't want to like collaborate that with anyone else's grand opening. So we decide during the fast start how we're going to do their grand opening. If we're going to join their grand opening with other teammates, or if they're going to have their grand opening by themselves. We give them that option. Because it doesn't work for everyone. And my thing is, I look at it like this. If I have a brand new teammate and I do a virtual grand opening for them and they have 4 guests, when was the last time a brand new associate brought 4 guests to the office their first week in business? So it doesn't matter how many people that attend the grand openings. It's going to be more that will probably come on Zoom that would have came in the office. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yes.
Absolutely. So you celebrate that person. It doesn't matter how many guests they have. The reason why we also try to combine the grand openings so that that individual doesn't feel bad if they only have 2 guests. It's like they just mingle in with everybody. And then to be honest, even their guests don't know that the other guests are not their friends. They don't really know. You know, you don't tell the guests you're going to be joining in with 3 others. So when they first get on Zoom, they're like, oh my goodness, Jennifer has so many friends attending her grand opening. They find out later that it's a combined grand opening. But we love it. We have music playing at the beginning. We have what we call an MC. We have a person that every time someone logs on, they welcome the person to the grand opening. Every single time a participant pops up. We're excited to have you at the grand opening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the Mo Zone, the first 5 minutes, very important. Because we're welcoming everyone to the VGO. And then what we do, you guys, we debrief with our new MBAs. After the grand opening is over, we get them to hop back on Zoom and we debrief with them. And we ask them, so Jennifer, how many texts did you get during the presentation? Because remember, during the presentation, we're constantly doing little closes. We're asking the family and friends, if you would agree this is powerful information, text your family member that you want to learn more. And when and so that new business associate is getting excited because even during the presentation, they're getting texts. So they're saying, Ms. Frazier, I got 2 texts. One from my grandmother and one from my best friend. They want to learn more. They have money they want to roll over, Ms. Frazier. And so you're like, wow, let's get in contact with them. So we've made phone calls the very same day of a grand opening, got a follow-up appointment for the client side and for the business side. These are things we just couldn't do when we were in the office. But we take advantage of it now, doing virtual grand openings. So to me, you guys, they're the game changer. I believe you can even build your own culture through grand openings. Yes, you know, I've been on a lot of Zooms, you guys, even on the West Coast, talking about the virtual grand openings, but I believe you build your own culture through these grand openings is much better as well. Be creative. As long as the BPM is presented in a very professional way, everything else you guys can add. Bring your own flavor. I mean, I love it. It definitely works for us. And most importantly, it keeps the new person excited and we get them activity immediately.
I see. So Tammy, how do you do recognition on the virtual?
How do we do recognition?
Right. How do you recognize them on the VGO?
You mean at the very beginning when we're getting started?
Right.
So we just actually bring them up, and what we do, we try to do the speaker view so everybody can see them. And we're like, I would like to welcome, you know, Tamisha. Tamisha's having her grand opening today. Guess what, you guys? Tamisha's been on board for just a short period of time. You know, her background is she came from a medical building background. You know, she's super, super excited. How many of you on this Zoom call are here to support Tamisha? Give us a reaction. And they'll, you know, to them, you know, some people don't, you know, everyone doesn't understand Zoom, so they'll just kind of clap their hands or they'll do something for their family member. And we only give them a short, you know, just a short period of time just to speak. Because if the family members, it's psychology behind that as well. Because Mickey was asking me, you know, Tammy, give me, you know, your psychology, why you do that. When you think about it, the grand opening is about that individual. So how does it make the family members feel when you bring that individual up and you're edifying them? They see their family members one way, but you're edifying their family members a totally different way. So it makes the family members proud of their you know, their friend or their auntie or whomever they may be. So it's just great, you guys. The same thing we would do in Mozone. You know how we go around in Mozone when we're meeting the guests and we always talk about how great the new business associate is and how, you know, we're just so happy that they're part of our team. We do the very same thing. And if it's more than one, Eileen, we recognize them like individually. And what we usually do, another thing we do, like the flyers that they have, we actually will put their flyer up as we recognize them. And then it's all in a PowerPoint form. And then we put the next flyer up. Now I want to recognize Michael Harris. Michael Harris is having his VGO today. We want to celebrate you. If you're a family member or friend of Michael, give me a reaction.
I see.
So that Mozone goes on for about 15 minutes, you guys, at the very beginning, because we're setting the stage. And then we have someone to bring up the speaker. And the person that brings up the speaker, of course, has to edify that person. Talk about how long that person's been in the industry, what their background was. And then we call it Let the Show Begin. The reason why we don't talk about compensation, because we do not want family members getting off of Zoom feeling uncomfortable. It kills the whole purpose of the VGO. I think we tried that. I think we did that our very first VGO and it didn't go well. So we immediately did course correction. And we said we would never talk about compensation. Now, when it gets to the slide of timing is everything, I do talk about how we are expanding. We're looking for some powerful individuals, right, to partner up with in this industry. We're looking to open up about, you know, 2 to 6 offices in the next 6 months. I don't know if you're looking for more. You may be that person that's hardworking, ambitious, and dissatisfied. If that's you, we want you to get with your family member. Allow us to help you. That's pretty much all we say. But even when we say that, we're speaking on that with passion and conviction. We just don't go into the compensation plan.
Right. Okay. So like a quote unquote standard BPM without the compensation opportunity part. And now do you make the presentation shorter since it's virtual, or you keep it down to like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or how long?
We make it shorter.
Mhm.
We make it shorter, absolutely, because we understand these are family members, right? These are close friends. They're not going to want to be on Zoom for an hour. So we started to condense the BPM. We had the slides and we just used the slides that are very important. So we have what we call a virtual grant opening PowerPoint. And we go over the most important slides. And I'm gonna tell you that the BPM presenter, we time ourselves because that is very, very important. You don't want to, put up different presenters. Some may present longer, some may never stay on track, and they go into like 45 minutes. That's not the time. You want to make sure whomever the presenter is, they bring their A game, but at the same time, you guys, they're very conscious of time. Because what will happen, you would notice that family and friends will start logging off the Zoom. That's the worst thing you want to happen. It's going to kill the momentum of your new business associate. So we make sure in 30 minutes that we're done presenting. And then we go into, if we're going to play any games or if we're going to give away any prizes, people want to stay on for things like that, believe it or not. It's hilarious how they won't stay on if you're presenting, but if you tell them that you're giving away a prize or you're going to do a cash app, they will stay on the Zoom.
So how do you give out the reward on Zoom? How do you do that?
What we actually do is so much fun, you guys. Like if we have a lot of couples on, like we will, we may ask, again, when we're talking about proper protection and importance of making sure that we protect our debt, our income, mortgage. And we would ask, well, who can give me the acronym of DIME and put it in the chat? The person that puts it in the chat the quickest will win like a $25 cash app. And then they put their cash app name in the chat and we cash app them.
Oh wow.
And so it's so funny. We had someone to come on board. This is so funny, you guys. We had so much fun. I will never forget this virtual grant opening. This husband and a wife, they won the $25. They wanted to come on board the same night. They wanted to plan their VGO the same night. We were like, well, we want to go ahead and do your PFS appointment. And they were like, yeah, we'll get to that, Ms. Frazier. But can we have we're ready to have our grand opening. We know so many people that can benefit from this information. So we were like, this is just a game changer. So that's what I mean when I say be creative. Bring your personality in and just make it fun. I mean, during this time, you guys, people are looking at the crisis and the pandemic. They're looking at things through a different set of lenses. But you know what we have that they don't have? We have the best opportunity of a lifetime. We have the best opportunity of a lifetime, you guys.
Definitely. So for the pricing, so every time you hold like this, is the SMD is the one giving out the prizes?
Yes.
Who's the one giving the prize? SMD, correct?
I give out the prizes.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So if they combine more than one base shop, then whoever base shop team won the prize, the SMD will give the prize.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. And what I also did this month, I did a contest for whomever had the most guests at their VGO would get a $50 gift card. Mm-hmm. So they're competing. We have one gentleman, he's at 25 right now. He had 25 guests on his VGO. But I noticed when I threw that contest out at the beginning of the month, our VGO guests just shot through the roof. I mean, now we're having like 13, 14. This guy now is up to 25 guests. He had his VGO on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So they're competing against each other. Like, well, I had 18 guests. and say, well, you know what, I'm gonna have now. It's up and down our group me. We're gonna have 30 guests so we can win the gift card.
So I mean, so for that contest like that, they can attend multiple VGO and they have to win, or just their own VGO, their own grand opening only.
Just their own grand opening only.
Their own grand, okay, all right. So do you use the helping family presentation to do that, to do your presentation, or you have your own, create your own presentations?
No, we use the same one, family A, family B.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys use? Yes, we use the same one.
Helping family, yes. Okay.
And also think about it. That BPM is perfect for a virtual grand opening. It talks about families. And even when you're presenting, you speak on those things. You know, the importance of a family winning together. And when we're not educated on money, how we disrespect money, money disrespects us. So we bring up those things during the grand opening because we understand you have your family members and your close friends.
That's very true. So how do you closing it?
At the very end, the last slide we speak on is timing is everything.
Okay.
Right? We don't go into the ways that we're compensated. So if I was presenting, I would just speak on how important financial education is and how we need more financial professionals. And we talk about the shortfall. I say all of that, and I let the family members and friends know that we are expanding. We're looking for individuals to partner up in the industry. I don't know if you're keeping your career options open, but if this is something that you're interested in, get with the person that invited you. We would love to have an appointment with you. And so that's how we're able to bring them on board. They don't feel like we're backing them up against a wall. To me, when you start showing compensation on the Zoom, it's different than compensation face-to-face. That I have noticed from going through this pandemic. It's not as easy when you're speaking of compensation because a lot of people will immediately think it's a pyramid or it's a scam.
Right. So
you don't want to turn the family members off.
Right. So tell me, since you have so many people get into the Zooming, VGO, for example, 20 or 30 of them each time, right? And how do you able to make appointment? Do they make appointment right away with you right there? There's a format, they text and make appointment. I have to call or you text them individual after that to make appointments with you.
Oh, they have to debrief. They have to debrief with us immediately after. So not only are they on a Zoom with me, but they're on a Zoom with my MDs. They're on a Zoom with my senior associates. I have a frontline leadership. And so they have to get on the Zoom with someone to debrief from their grand openings.
So for example,
also,
yes.
Also what helps is I have my frontline leaders on the grand opening as well. So we're actually, collaborating together. And so once the grand opening is over, you're going to get because if this is a new business associate, someone brought them on board. A leader brought them on board. So they're just getting on Zoom with their leader. We call it CPC. Of course, you guys, constant personal communication. So when the Zoom is over, you already know that you're going to debrief with your leader. When we debrief is when we get follow-up appointments. So let's say, for instance, that they were on Zoom and no one sent them a text message. We're going to get the names and the numbers of the family members that attended the grand opening, and we're going to follow up. We do the very same thing we would do if we were in the office.
So do you follow right away after the debrief? How long is the debrief? Like an hour, 30 minutes? Right after that?
Just depends. It depends because it depends how many guests they had. But we debrief with them however long we need to. Some individuals, it's just a quick debrief and we make an appointment to make phone calls the very next day. Because the objective is just to get results. So let's say, for instance, if no one did not send a text message in, we're going to follow up with your family and friends the very next day.
Okay. So since you have so many people and so busy, how do you manage your schedule? You have, how do you schedule yourself to make it available for everyone?
We just match up. We match up, you guys, up and down our team. We match up. Because my daughter is an SMD as well. So I even match up within her base shop. Their team, they're running their grand openings. So we have uprising leaders that can do follow-up appointments. Even if I have to match up with someone from Impact, then we will.
I see.
Because there's no way we could control that inventory. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, I mean, okay. Oh, you talk about relaunch. How do you able to get people back relaunch? I mean, we have people like been there for a while, like a few years already, and never have any result. And then how do we relaunch with them? Are you set a new promotion to excite them, or what exactly you do? Because their family member already know that they've been in the business for so long and do not make money.
Absolutely. What happens, believe it or not, the team members that decide to do a relaunch, it's because they pretty much made a decision that they want to win. We don't pick and choose who's going to have a relaunch. We let them decide if they want to have a relaunch. So if you've been on board and you come to me, Ms. Frazier, I'm really excited about having a relaunch. I want to, get my flyer made. Then we're going to celebrate them, but we don't put any pressure on them. But what's happening from the culture of the VGOs, even our teammates has been with us for a long period of time, they want to relaunch their business because now they're excited. They're getting reconnected with their whys. And that's how we had so many teammates to hit associate promotion that had been with us just from the building a culture of the VGOs and the excitement. And they got back reconnected with their goals and their dreams.
So the relaunch, basically they're not combined with the new business associate grand opening. They're different.
They're different.
They're combined together, right?
No, they're different. The relaunches are different. The relaunches are done together.
With the relaunch.
And the grand openings are done together because the relaunches are only for teammates that's been on board longer than a year. You can't combine the two. It just doesn't make for a good presentation.
Right. So the relaunch, the people that we have can have multiple relaunch together with the same event one night, right? So you have different people can relaunch all together.
Absolutely. We even had some SMDs that you guys know quite well that had a relaunch last month. And they're SMDs. They just wanted to generate more activity.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So do they use the same presentation? Do they use the same presentation for relaunch or different presentations?
Same presentation. Believe it or not, I think someone asked me when we were on Zoom Saturday, well, what about the family members that saw this before? Those are the same family members that thought you would quit, but you're still here.
Right.
And they want to know, why are you still here? So believe it or not, they get on the relaunch because now they believe in you because they thought you would quit a year ago, but you're still here.
So how do you promote the relaunch, the flyer? Is that different flyer compared to the one that's VGO, the first grand opening?
It's actually the same flyer. Let me actually get to a flyer, you guys. It'd be much better if I were able to. Yeah, my assistant, I think he took my flyer off for some strange reason. But
it's okay, we can wait for you.
Give me 1 second, you guys.
Take your time.
Thank you.
We thank you.
I'm enjoying spending this time with you guys. I just know that if we all just start these VGOs, they're going to take our business to just another level.
We really appreciate that because
and we love your passion too.
Yes, you already
Thank you.
already. See, by listening to you, I want to rejoin again already.
Yeah, I want my own VGO with my clients right now.
Yes, I love it.
VGO.
Do you have a recording of your VGO so that we can see how the A through Z process works, so to experience it live?
You know what? Actually, we don't, but we can just let you guys know when we're having one and have you guys to get on. Yeah, because we pretty much we launch them all the time.
Yes, we would love to.
That'll be awesome.
Woo!
Wow, thank you so much. You're so generous.
Thank you,
Oh,
Tammy.
it's our pleasure.
She's a nurse.
Yes.
This is the nurse in me, you guys. Just want to
Tammy,
see
come
everybody
to Hawaii
win.
anytime, okay? We'll take you
Yes,
everywhere.
absolutely.
I'm gonna win the prize, Tammy.
So do you use
Love
a
it.
different verbiage on the flyer for the relaunch folks?
You know what? That's a good question. That's why I need to get to the flyer. See, I'm so spoiled, you guys, right? When you have assistants, you get so spoiled that you're so used to them doing everything. And it's like, no, I have to figure this out, Miss Frazier. So give me 1 second so I can
Don't worry,
get
Tammy.
to.
Do you say you use the same BPM PowerPoint for relaunch? Same thing?
Yes, we do.
So basically, BPM and the VGO, they're all the same. The only difference is you cut down their compensation for the VGO and the relaunch. That's it. Correct?
Right, exactly. Correct.
Okay,
So
thank you.
taking the experience you had with before the VGO when you were doing the office versus now the VGO, when we're able to resume back in the office, what would you do differently with your experience? Or what would you do more to enhance what you're currently doing with both?
You know what? That's a very good question. I will always do virtual grand openings now. To be honest, it's to me, you get the results you get quicker than when they're in the office. But when the office reopens and life is back normal for all of us, we will still have our grand openings in the office because we basically been doing this for 2 years now, and it's completely changed our business. It allows me to every month consistently do DDR for the last like 2.5 years now.
I think
So-
the virtual will be good in a way, like Tammy said, that people of different state, they can join together grand openings. If they have family and friends from different state are far away, the grand at the office, it can be only local people who come along.
Okay. This is just one of them, you guys. And we have so many of them. We create them different ways. It just depends on the individual. This is a couple. Let me tell you guys about this couple, right? This couple, they're the Moores. They're out of North Carolina. They attended a grand opening, came on board as a power couple. We had their grand opening. They had over 25 guests. Mickey actually opened up a non-licensed senior associate run, and they crushed it, closed almost 30,000 points. So they'll be promoted this month as senior associates. And in their organization, we already have 3 direct associates that have had their grand openings as well. Matter of fact, I'm working closely with a power couple that I brought on board from this couple. That's the power of a grand opening. They attended a grand opening first. They immediately want to come on board. Of course, we sold them the dream. They're out of North Carolina. We told them that would be great, for them to pioneer North Carolina. Within that senior associate run, we promoted 3 direct associates. 1 is a power couple that I'm working closely with right now. We had their grand opening a week ago. Matter of fact, I was just reconnecting with them before I got on Zoom with you guys. We're going to be having a CPC at 7:30 tonight. So we designed the flyers. We have someone in our team. Every flyer probably is designed differently, whether it's a relaunch or a virtual business grand opening. And you see where it says, from the comfort of your home, join me as I launch my financial services business. Kind of short and to the point. Because we only use the flyer just to market. You get what I'm saying? Where they can just send it out to their families and friends. But it's just so much fun.
That's great.
How about relaunch? Will you do differently for the relaunch, Tammy?
No, we don't do anything different from the relaunch. It's like the very same format we use. We just don't want to combine the relaunch because it makes that new person feel like, why is this person having a relaunch? They've been here for a year already. So we don't combine them. We combine everyone that's been here a year or longer. We do the relaunches together. And then for the virtual grand opening, then we do those together as well. But the relaunches are the very same thing. I mean, we're just trying to drum up activity.
Right.
For a person that haven't had much activity in a whole year.
Yeah.
You
So
have a relaunch flyer?
Is it the same flyer but just different wording? Like
it's the same flyer, but different wordage. Exactly.
Oh, you change the relaunch, that's it.
We changed the relaunch.
Can we see a sample of it if you have?
You know what? I don't have it in here, but I can certainly send it to Eileen and she can send it out to you guys. I'll get my assistant to just send me one. I'll email it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I thought I had it in here, but I didn't, because we move the flyers around a lot, you guys. Whenever we're doing a fast start, I pick and choose because we want to show that we're diverse as well. So I kind of pick and choose what flyers I'm going to use. I don't always use the same flyer in every fast start appointment. But this particular one that I have here, and we have so many different ones. Like Tamisha and I may just go in and just change that one slide in the fast start. But you want to make sure in your fast start that you're actually showing them, you know, what the flyer looks like. That, you know, we're going to make it all about you. We're going to have your virtual grand opening so your family and friends can be introduced to what you do.
So is there a maximum limit that you find is become effective or not effective among the how many grand opening when you group them? You said 4. Is that a magical number? Maybe 5 is too much, or 3 is too little?
Very good question. Very good question. We try not to have more than 4 grand openings because when you start to overload, it's not effective. So what will happen, we will have 1 grand opening with 4 teammates and another grand opening with 4 teammates. We try not to have more than 4 because we don't want to spend too much time recognizing, introducing. We're very conscious of the time. The time is very important.
So do you let the associates speak? Sorry. So you let the associates speak a little bit when you introduce them, or it's just only the MC person, recognizing them and then move to the next one?
Oh, no, we let them speak. They must speak. Their family members must hear from them. So at the very beginning, we bring them up, we put them on speaker view like you guys have me now, right? And then we just let them speak.
So basically, I mean, for the introduction and the let person speak combined individually, maximum 4, so each one maximum 5 minutes, 4 of them 20 minutes, plus 30-minute presentation and 10 minutes for closing. Is that exactly what now you finish?
You got it. That's it. That's it from start to finish.
Right. So Tammy, so if someone, they have the grand opening and somehow their family member can attend, will that person will attend the second grand opening of somebody else, or they can go again, open another grand opening again, second time?
They can open it up a second time. Sometimes they ask if they can have a grand opening again. But for me, I'd rather just do one-on-one appointments from that point. Because my thing is it takes time to invite for the next grand opening. And I realize you're already a weekend and I don't have a new business associate for you yet. So I don't want to keep having more grand openings and more grand openings. If they have a grand opening and they don't have any guests, we immediately just start making one-on-one appointments for them.
I see.
Because we don't want to keep pushing it out. You know, it takes time to invite for a grand opening. So that means we have to spend 3 or 4 days inviting for a grand opening when I could have probably got you to 3 already.
So when people come on board, how long it take you to make another grand opening for them? Like in 1 week time frame, you will have grand opening right away, or what? So how many days? Like
2 to 3 days, you have to have your grand opening.
2 to 3 days.
We don't spend a lot of time inviting because it's a grand opening and you're just sending out a flyer and you're inviting your family and friends. We don't want to push it. We don't want to push it back too far. Believe it or not, we found out that people show up when it's only 2 or 3 days out. But if you're having a grand opening and it's Monday and the grand opening is not till Sunday, the chances of your guest count, we notice most people don't show up. But if you come on board on a Monday, but you're having your grand opening on Thursday, people show up. So we stop booking the grand opening so far apart from when you come on board. When you come on board, you have 2 to 3 days to have your grand opening, because we're having so many grand openings during the week.
I see. So you do not wait for the weekend, so you can do the grand opening during the day also as well.
Absolutely.
So the day
We do grand openings on Wednesdays. We do them on Thursdays. We do them on Fridays. They're even having grand openings today because it's Memorial Day. So my daughter is actually here, and we overtalk each other. She's here, right? We just take over the whole house, you guys, just doing grand openings and VGOs and one-on-one appointments. And she's actually having a VGO for one of her new teammates that's in the military.
So the grand opening is usually at nighttime, correct? Because daytime people are working, so your grand opening over at nighttime. Except today because it's a holiday, so you can do it during daytime, right?
Right, exactly. All the grand openings are in the evening hours. If it's on a weekend, you guys, and it's Sunday, we're very mindful of the time because we know people still have service, whether they're on Zoom or, so we still try to make it in the afternoon. If we're going to do a Saturday VGO, we try to have it maybe about 5 p.m. If we're going to have a Friday VGO, we try to have it maybe 6 or 7, not any later than that. So we're very mindful of the time as well.
You mentioned about culture and also incorporating your styles. Can you give a few more examples on that?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's great when a new business associate comes on board and like you involve them in like the planning. You ask them, well, would you like to have your VGO with just you alone, or you want to combine with maybe 2 other, because you have to figure out their personality. So you don't want to just automatically have a VGO and you're putting other people in that VGO when they would prefer to have it on their own. So you talk about that. Let me tell you why that's important, because to me, all of that is a part of building your culture. You can't build your culture if you don't know your people. So you begin to learn them when they come on board. You know if they have influence. So guess what? If you're like, if you're a doctor, you got your PhD, why would I put you on a grand opening or VGO with a retail worker? Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that may not be a good match. So we actually designed the VGOs according to whomever, the individual is. And not only that, but what I mean when I say build a culture, build that VGO culture within your team, that your team is excited, that you guys are going up and down the group me talking about VGOs. Whenever there's a VGO, we actually take a picture and we post it on group me. That's a part of building your culture. Your people will get excited. We've had more teammates to get excited from the VGOs than they ever have since they've been on board. And I'm speaking of people that are introvert by nature as well. They just get excited about the VGOs. That's a part of building your culture. A culture is very important. People will stick with you because you have a culture, even if they don't even really understand what's going on. They just want to be a part of something great.
All right. So Tammy have a question. So every night you only have one VGO, right? Or you have more than one VGO?
Now, we may have more than one VGO only because Tamisha and I both are SMDs. Right now, what's going on this month, you guys, has been kind of unique. Now we're having our uprising leaders wanting to run VGOs for their own teams. So that's what we have going on now. And we're actually giving them permission to. Now, we didn't do that when we first started VGOs, but now we have senior associates. They're great at doing the BPM. They want to be the face of their base shop. So I can't even keep up with the VGOs because we have uprising leaders that are having VGOs for their own teams now. They're doing their fast start, right? They're getting them excited. They're scheduling their VGO. They're getting their flyers made. And I find out about it when I see it on GroupMe. So it's really, now we have duplication at its finest.
So Tammy, so because your SA already have 60 recruit in the base shop, right? You have something, SA really capable and very, they have big base shop recruitings. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So Tammy, so before that, so for after the VGO, you have the debrief. So basically, assuming maximum 1 hour. So basically, if you're going to reschedule another VGO. So you have one at 6 o'clock, the next one should be 8 p.m. That way to make sure that you have 1 hour to debrief right after that. Is that correct?
Absolutely. But here's the thing, remember, the VGO may be done by someone other than myself. I usually don't do more than one VGO in one day. So what I mean is I have other leaders that can present as well. So we utilize our best BPM presenters to do the VGOs. I'm not the only person that does a VGO. We wouldn't be able to handle the capacity if it was only one person. So we utilize our uprising leaders to have VGOs as well. So I give you an example. Like this coming Friday, on an average, we probably have about 4 VGOs going on at the same time. Because everybody have different Zoom numbers. So whatever presenter is presenting, you use their Zoom information. Now, we didn't start out when we first started with VGOs, you guys, before we started having triple digit, we didn't start out that way, but now we have such a large capacity, we had to get more presenters and have more VGOs, because now everybody is excited. And now we have teammates that's been with us for a year wanting to have a relaunch. So it's just so much that's going on, you guys, that we had to make sure that we're duplicating ourselves and we're not the only ones.
Tammy, what would be, you say the 3 to 5 pitfalls you would recommend to avoid with all the experience you had with the VGOs or office, grand opening?
Being organized. You know how we talk about the STAR system? You do not want to have an A-type personality facilitating your VGO. It's a scenario of disaster. They're excited, and the only thing that excites them is excitement. They go over, it's like an hour and a half. People are logging off. So I learned that at the beginning. I have to use a structured person because timing is everything. We don't have time for mistakes on a VGO. We get on a pregame 30 minutes before the VGO even starts. And everyone that's a part of that VGO must be present on time. And no disrespect, but if you screw up somebody's VGO, then just know the next time you probably won't be allowed to get on. You won't be a part of that because we only have one opportunity to make an impression. So we got to inspect what we expect. So we have a great, what we call like a crew team. And sometimes if they don't have appointments, they'll jump on a VGO and kind of help out. And, we have people that are great at MC, people that are great at the music and, different things like that. So we have great teamwork.
Do you have a co-host to control scenario disaster on the chat?
Yes, absolutely. We have a host and a co-host. Because what happens, and you know how you'll be so excited and you say, unmute yourselves. That's the worst thing you can do. Because we learn through trial and error, when you say unmute yourself and then we're trying to continue on and then the co-host may not, be that experienced to mute everyone, and it just sets a bad tone for the VGO. So we just use reaction, clap your hands, different things like that. We try not to unmute only the person that's speaking. Those are mistakes that we made at the beginning, you guys, that we just did a course correction really quick. That's a very good question.
So you don't use the webinar mode, you use the regular mode?
We use the regular mode so we can see everyone. Because everybody brings the energy, and it's exciting when you can see, when your family members can see you and you can see them.
Yeah, that's great. So people are asking if they're excited, they cannot wait to join your next video, become your guest on next video.
Yes, we're excited, you guys. But you know what? This is what I'll say, and I tell everyone, because we have a lot of individuals asking to get on our VGOs. Even after you watch our VGO, you guys, be creative. That's what makes it, that's what helps you build your culture. Go within your base shop. And whatever your culture is in your base shop, help to improve that. Because to me, it helps us win because we built a culture through VGOs. And now that we've taught Unstoppable, how to do it, and everybody is super excited about it. I even tell my SMDs, like we were on our performance meeting this morning, I'm like, you guys build your own culture through VGOs. Just use me as a blueprint, but do your own thing. And David was like, I appreciate that, Tammy, because it helps me to even build my culture within my team. So I think that's what makes it a lot of fun, is when you become creative. We're not being creative with the power with the BPM PowerPoint, but you can be creative with how you plan out your VGOs.
So would you recommend
Everything doesn't have to be the same, is what I'm saying.
Would you recommend during the recognition of those 4 folks, would you still have music playing in the background softly while you recognize, still build up that momentum as well as the fun environment during the recognitions?
Absolutely. We do have, and it's usually like celebration music or happy music, like the happy song or the celebration song. We're very consistent with our music. You have to be careful who you choose for your DJ. That's another scenario disaster for my first event. I was like, we have to talk about the music. This is not the club. This is a grand opening. So you don't want to you don't want your music to be too excited that it scares away your guests. So everything you got to debrief and talk about. We even did like a role play where we act as if we were having a Zoom, and it was just the leaders on the Zoom and the people that were facilitating, and we did a dry run, because that's not the time that you want to have mistakes while you're like in game time. So every little thing matters. Even the person that is doing the recognition, you want to make sure it's an A-type personality. One time we had an R doing the recognition. It's just like, they're like, we're happy to have you guys here today. And we're like, where's the energy? So we want to make sure that we, because you guys know, even when you have your elite circles, you're very mindful who you put up for your MC, right? The very same thing. Very same thing.
So Tammy, so you basically have an MC. The MC is different than the recognition person, or are different,
Usually the MC is the same person.
Same person, right? Yeah.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
usually at the beginning, assuming that there's an MC and you're the one do the closings. If
Yes,
you
the MC.
if
The MC comes on after me.
The MC come after you.
So after I do timing is everything, the last slide, then the MC comes up. Wouldn't you guys agree that, Miss Frazier, this was powerful information? So they just solidify. Keep in mind, they're introducing me at the beginning. They're just solidifying everything at the very end. And then we go right into recognizing again, because remember, we recognize at the beginning as well, but at the beginning, we give the new business associates a turn to talk individually. But at the end, only the MC is talking.
I see. So at the beginning, you're not talking yet. It's just the MC introduced the new associate. They talk for a few minutes, correct? And then after that, when you finish talking, the MC talk again, and then do the price. Where is the price? At the end or the middle somewhere?
It's at the end.
At the end. So the MC will do the price, or you do the pricing?
The MC does the price. I am just, look, I'm just a payer.
You're just paying.
And believe it or not, you guys, I really don't want the new business associates like knowing that I am doing that. I just want to be, I kind of be in the background with it. They really don't know like who the money is coming from. And we just do it that way because it just keeps down, how can you say, because I'm a nurse, you guys, I love to give, right? So a lot of times I like to be in the background. So they know there's a contest, but they may not really, they don't know specifically unless I put it on a flyer. Now the contest we're running for the base shop, then they know that's coming from my husband and I. because it's on a flyer and we're promoting it.
Mm-hmm.
But for the VGOs, they don't really know. And trust me, the new people, they don't even really care. They're just happy that their family members are winning cash money.
Right.
You know, $25, a small token, people love it.
Right.
They're like, oh my God, I actually won $25 cash app from being, from being on my nephew's grand opening. It's great.
That's cool. So how many prize you give out one time? Like one prize per VGO? Two.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice of you, really. I mean, you really have done so much for it. You know, we really appreciate you, and we want to really pay it forward in the future. You need some help from us. We're there for you.
I appreciate you guys. You guys have always been there for me. And I'll tell you this, because coming up in the business, with my background, nurses, we're analytical and we have to figure things out before we move. But I'm so glad I was able to come to elite circles and see you guys and watch you guys win. I mean, I look at Tess, her energy, she's always excited. And I remember asking Joey, like, Joey, who are these people? They're crushing the business. And he would tell me about Tess and Jennifer. And I'm like, one day I'm going to be just like these queens. They're winning and I love it.
We want to
So
be like
I
you.
appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys even having me on this Zoom call. It is my honor and my pleasure. You guys, I mean, when you send me the message, I didn't even know how to respond because I'm like, you guys don't have to do anything. This excites me just from getting on your Zoom, being able to share, because I just believe in this business, winning it's not fun unless all of us are winning. Why not just help each other and just win together? I want to get to where you guys are in cash flow. I'm not there. I have ways to go.
There
But you
soon.
guys inspire me.
God bless your heart, Tammy. We love you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Aloha.
You are now already another queen of us already. See, you're like a queen to us already. Soon you'll be there in the cash flow at no time. The way your energy is, the way you're moving your business, I have no doubt about you. So one day we see you on the top, get $1 million ring.
Yes, thank you guys. So if you can send me your email address so I want to send you the relaunch flyer. And also we can stay in contact so I can let you know when is our next VGO. But I'm going to make it one of our best VGOs because I know you guys are going to be invited on. So it's going to be flawless.
What's a good contact and email for you, Tammy? If we have questions.
Okay, absolutely. My cell number, you guys, is 757 area code 735-0160.
Where are you located?
In Virginia, the Hampton Roads area, Chesapeake, Virginia. My email address, you guys, is my first name and my last name. So that's Tammy Frazier, WFG@gmail.com. Pretty simple. First and last name, TammyFraser,
What's
you
your
guys
home
can contact
address,
me.
Tammy?
I'm sorry.
What's your home address, Tammy, so we can send you some Hawaiian stuff?
I will text you guys later. Don't worry. I will have Tammy's phone number and email address, and her phone number. You can send some Hawaii goodies to Tammy. Okay?
We have some Hawaiian clothes on.
If you guys have any questions, something may jump out, you're more than welcome to just text me or email me. I promise you I'll get back with you as soon as I can.
Anyone have any last question, Tammy? SMD?
No, okay. Well, we really appreciate Tammy, for your information, your sharing, your caring, and your passion. So this was probably the best webinar I've been on for the last couple of months.
Wow. Well, thank you guys. It's my pleasure.
Tammy,
Thank you,
we
Tammy.
can have a picture with you. Okay. Hold on. We have a screenshot. So remember this moment. Tammy is so kind and share with us all these great nuggets.
Okay, everybody look at the camera,
ready?
smile.
Make sure you're on camera. Hello, everyone. Make sure you're on camera. Come on, 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
Ready? Anyone else on the camera, please? Quickly. Letitia. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, all right.
Thank
Historic-
you, Tammy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys
Thanks,
enjoy the
Eileen
rest of
and
your
Pam.
day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Tammy. We appreciate you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
SMB.
Thank you, Tammy. Great sharing. So
As-
helpful.
on.
God bless you.
Thank you, Tammy.